Unique animals. Shoebills. Shoebills are abnormally tall, with some individuals reaching heights over 4 feet, and unlike many other birds who inhabit similar marsh environments, shoebills are highly effective predators. Their long legs are perfect for traversing shallow waters, where they prey on reptiles, rodents, and fish. They're even known to strike against juvenile crocodiles. A stick insect. Finding a stick insect requires careful observation, as the nickname makes it very clear. It resembles a stick. This, combined with an ability to stay perfectly still for long stretches of time, provides the stick insect for one of the most efficient natural camouflages on Earth. The glass frog. Just as you see through glass, you can see through the extraordinary glass frog. Many of these frogs have lime green skin, but some lack any coloration on their underside, making their organs visible to the naked eye. Equally amazing, there are spotted backs, which scientists speculate are meant to resemble eggs, so predators going after their offspring get confused. Mantis shrimp. Mantis shrimp are ancient, fierce, and more than a little weird. They're freakishly strong that their appendages, called clubs, can smash crab shells and bust open clams. These clubs can also be used to dish out around 500 punches in under a second, delivering enough force to break glass. And that's not all. Because these shrimp have incredible eyesight, they strike with pinpoint accuracy. There are about 400 different species of mantis shrimp, the most dazzling looking of which is undoubtedly the multi-hued peacock mantis shrimp. A wombat. When you see a wombat, a fuzzy little marsupial with a friendly face and calm demeanor, you probably immediately want to hug this cool animal. But don't be fooled by appearances. Wombats sport rodent-like teeth and can get aggressive if they feel threatened. Wombats are surprising in other ways too. Unlike other marsupials, their pouches face backwards, and their poop is cube-shaped. To protect their tunnels where they dwell, they dive into them head first and stick up their rump, which is tough enough to thwart predators. An axolotl. The axolotl salamander manages to be at once adorable and kind of disturbing. Though it develops legs, it never reaches land, instead spending its time strolling the underwater surface, its nickname a walking fish. This extraordinary creature, which comes in colors ranging from creamy white to olive, is only native to Mexico. The sun bear. When people think of bears, they often imagine the big, fast, and potentially dangerous kinds, like polar, grizzly, brown, and black bears. They often don't think of sun bears, which are unlike any of their cousins. Sun bears are the smallest bears in the world, which many adults weighing under 100 pounds. But what really makes them stand out is their unusually long tongues, which can measure up to 9 inches. Also known as honey bears, sun bears climb trees to find honeycomb, and their tongues come in handy when they lick out their loot. A lyrebird. Lyrebirds could easily win a talent show for their ability to mimic sounds in their environment. True, this trait exists in other birds, but lyrebirds take things to a whole new level. They can imitate just about any sound, including industrial equipment and power tools. Found in Australia, the birds are also known for their flamboyant mating displays. The males show off their long tail feathers while dancing and using their superb vocal abilities to attract mates. A parrotfish. You can find parrotfish in tropical reef environments where they use their external teeth, which looks like a beak, to break algae off rocks, coral, and hardened substrate. This ability allows them to carve out a living in places where many other species cannot survive. An aye-aye. Head to Madagascar, and after seeing sunsets, you focus your energy on searching for the aye-aye. These nocturnal lemurs have a very unusual build, with large ears and rat-like teeth. After tapping on trees to locate insects based on their percussion feedback, they bore a hole with their teeth and long middle finger to extract and eat the insects. With the behavioral markings of a woodpecker and the appearance of a primate mixed with a rodent, the aye-aye is one of a kind and strangely kind of cute. An okapi. The okapi is one of the only living relatives of a giraffe, but features the distinctive black and white markings of a zebra in its hindquarters and front legs. Its nickname, the zebra giraffe, obviously. This endangered animal is leery of humans and hard to find, so much that scientists didn't discover the okapi until the 1900s. A markhor. This exotic wild goat is also known as a screw-horn goat, and it's easy to see why. Its head is adorned with long corkscrew-shaped horns. Unlike most goats, which can appear a little silly, the markhor strikes a majestic pose with a long beard that clearly demonstrates wisdom. A flightless cormorant. There are 29 species of cormorant in the world, and 28 of them can be found gliding over water before eventually touching down fish. But one, straightforwardly called the flightless cormorant, can never take to the sky due to wings that are 1/3 of the size of needed to fly. Scientists say that bird doesn't have larger wings because it simply doesn't need them. It has very few land predators. A red-lipped batfish. Speaking of weird Galapagos animals, check out the red-lipped batfish. Also native to the islands, this fish dwells on the ocean floor and is known for its red lips, which make it look like it's recently devoured a bloody feast. A Mexican mole lizard. The Mexican mole lizard is easily mistaken for a large worm on first glance, but once closer inspected, you'll notice its elongated ribbed body is attached to short legs with 5 fingers. An antelope. This beautiful antelope has an unusual snout with large down-pointed nostrils, and it's not unlike what's found on an anteater. In addition, its extraordinary appearance is distinguished by a remarkable and tragic backstory. In 2015, Saiga antelope in central Kazakhstan began appearing weak and uncoordinated before dying en masse. In total, some 200,000 individuals were wiped out over the course of a few days. It required years of investigation to discover the death was caused by a mass bacterial infection in their snout. The long-wattled umbrella bird. As if often the case with birds, female long-wattled umbrella birds don't look anything special, but the males are incredible, with long wattles, flabby hunks of skin, also seen on turkeys, extending from their necks. More amazing still, they can control their wattles, retracting or extending them as desired during flight or when sitting stationary. The wattles are especially odd considering they have no official purpose outside the potential courtship displays. A sloth. With their sad-looking eyes, often smiling mouths, tiny ears and stubby tail, and ability to turn their head 360 degrees, sloths are among the most distinctive-looking creatures in the animal kingdom. Famously lethargic, they can often be found in the treetops, where they lounge, nap, and graze. They move very little, and when they do, it's at a very slow pace. In fact, the sloth only defecates around 1 time a week. But lest you think the animal is simply lazy, this inertia is often actually a well-honed defense mechanism. Sloths are so good at blending into the environment that predators often zoom past without noticing their presence. A pacu. A cousin of the famous piranha, the pacu also sports a serious set of teeth, rather than razor sharp. However, these cuspids are squared. In fact, a pacu's definition to closely resemble a perfect set of human teeth. Kinda creepy, right? But don't be alarmed. Unlike piranhas, which can strip animals to their bones, pacus are herbivores, using their strong teeth to gnaw fruit and seeds. Hummingbird hawk moth. First described by naturalist Carl Linnaeus, this is not your everyday moth. Not quite as cute as the poodle moth, described later on this list. It is instead distinguished by an exceptional size. It's as large as a hummingbird and prominent reddish wings. You can see the hummingbird hawk moth in Scotland, Wales, Ireland, and England, where it's often found feeding in gardens and woodlands. A fossa. The fossa looks much like a cat that naturalists and official descriptions refer to as cat-like, even though it's actually a member of the weasel family and is a close relative of the mongoose. Like many odd and unusual animals, the fossa calls Madagascar home. While this remarkable creature does have the ears and head of a cat, it boasts one totally unique feature, a long tail that it uses to grip tree branches as it climbs in search of food. A Venezuelan poodle moth. Discovered in Venezuela just a few years ago in 2009, this large moth is covered with hair that makes it resemble a poodle. Unlike a poodle, however, it has wings and is attracted to your porch light, just like any other moth. The general consensus seems to be that this is the cutest moth ever, and we wholeheartedly agree. A Japanese spider crab. With their long spider-like legs, and spider crabs look like the villain in a comic book series. They're also exceptionally large and long-living. They can top 40 pounds, with their legs reaching over 12 feet in length, and can survive for 50 years or more, sometimes even for a century. Although the crabs are found off the coast of Japan, they're not dangerous hunters. They're carnivorous scavengers and will devour any dead fish or mammal that reaches their habitat on the ocean floor. A lowland streaked tenrec. There are two distinct types of tenrecs, one of which is found in a different Madagascar climate zone. The lowland streaked tenrec occupies the eastern rainforests, while the highland version lives in the mountainous rainforests. Tenrecs can fit in the palm of your hand and with their orange and black coloring resemble a bumblebee. They have quills and cute little snouts built for foraging insects and plants. A satanic leaf-tailed gecko. The leaf-tailed portion of the name is dead accurate. However, the animal's body and tail mimic a dried-out brownish leaf. The skin has even formed veins to replicate the veins on a leaf. In addition to its remarkable capacity for camouflage, this gecko can trick predators by voluntarily shedding its tail. A marabou stork. This large bird, it can stand up to 5 feet tall, has some unfortunate nicknames: a nightmare bird and an undertaker bird. The names are cruel, but not totally inaccurate. With its long legs, massive beak, and reddish neck pouch, it's pretty disturbing looking. Even freakier is its penchant for eating human garbage and wearing its own feces. Asunda kalogu. The Sunda flying lemur, or Malayan flying lemur, is distinctive lemur found in Southeast Asia. Its habitat is expansive with populations in Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia. It is one of the only 2 known flying lemurs, with the other living in the Philippines. Technically, these lemurs don't actually fly, they spread their wings and glide, much like the famous flying squirrels. Living in forests, they only need to travel short distances by air, and their gliding wings allow them to travel from tree to tree without touching the ground. A pink fairy armadillo. When most think of an armadillo, they picture the kind found off the side of Texas roads. The pink fairy armadillo, though, is quite different, with a fuzzy white underbelly and a shell with a fashionably pink hue. If you think its general appearance is cute, just wait until you learn about its size. This little armadillo is about the perfect same size as a hamster, giving it the perfect pet-like appeal. An Indian purple frog. They look nothing like everyday frogs, however. Besides their unique and striking purple color, they are shaped like a lump and possess features that seem deformed when compared to a normal frog. Their irregular shape is partly attributed to their lifestyle. They spend the majority of lives tucked underground, sucking down termites and other burrowing insects, only surfacing for a week or 2 during mating periods. A matamata. The matamata is a bumpy turtle shell. It is used to hide its snake-like neck and head. It's found in the Amazon, though you must travel deep into the jungle to spot it. Luckily, the freshwater turtle occupies shallow freshwater streams. Keep a keen eye out, you might be able to catch sight of its shell. The matamata makes other turtles look extremely active, which of course is saying something. It sits idle and rarely leaves its shallow water environment, only really moving when the time comes to lay eggs on land. A panda ant. Just as panda bears are notoriously cute, so are panda ants. Fuzzy with a white body and black spot, they look adorable and innocent, but don't underestimate them, as they might actually be more dangerous than the bear. Panda ants are found in Chile and Argentina, and the females are actually wingless wasps. This means they pack a punch with their sting. A Honduran white bat. Luckily, these vampire-esque albino bats are vegetarians and have no interest in causing harm. You can find them during the daytime hanging out in groups, tent-shaped leaves throughout eastern Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and the Panama. Their pointed ears are yellowish and almost translucent, with a shape like an elf. Their stark white color makes them easy to spot. A kinkajou. Related to the raccoon, the kinkajou actually looks nothing like its cousin, nicknamed the honey bear. It occupies a niche in the trees, living in Central and South American rainforests. It weighs a mere 3 to 7 pounds and is 1 to 2 feet long. Its prehensile tail is used to grip trees and it has an interesting diet, a mix of honey from beehives and whatever can find from scavenging. A sea pen. Invertebrates that anchor on the seafloor are not uncommon, but the sea pen possesses a few standout features. For one thing, they look like an old-fashioned quill pen. For another, they behave in a completely remarkable way. Sea pens colonize in groups and, when stimulated, light up, displaying a bright green light on the seafloor. It looks like someone flipped on a light switch, especially when groups emit light in sequence. A tarantula hawk. Most species avoid spiders, and for good reason. The predatory champions of the insect world sometimes have venom capable of taking down large mammals. The tarantula hawk, however, targets large tarantula spiders as a food source. The female tarantula hawk is actually an exceptionally large wasp, carrying its own venom that paralyzes the tarantula. She then lays her eggs in the still living spider and buries the carcass. When the eggs hatch, the baby tarantula hawks eat the living tarantula spider as they emerge and gain strength. It is a truly terrifying experience from the perspective of the spider. A Chinese water deer, nicknamed the vampire deer, this adorable animal possesses prominent tusks, actually elongated canine teeth, that it uses for eating and to assert dominance over rival males. An Australian peacock spider. A species in the jumping spider family, this one gets its peacock name because of the vibrant patterns. And just like male peacocks, male Australian peacock spiders are more vibrant of the sexes. They use their red, blue, and black hued extensions to attract mates. Whether or not a female is interested in mating, dance they perform. She may attempt to attack, kill, or feed on her wooer. A leafy sea dragon. A relative of the seahorse, the leafy sea dragon is a bit more exotic looking. Another animal from down under, the leafy, can be found along the southern and western coasts of Australia. It's about 8 to 9 inches in length. Leafies look like floating seaweed, providing them excellent camouflage in the deep sea. At the moment they hatch, these sea creatures are known for being completely independent, except when they're ready to breed. A narwhal. Oh, the mythical-looking narwhal. This is the closest creature so far that has similar features of the beloved unicorn. Unfortunately, these guys aren't easy to find either. They live in the Canadian Arctic, swimming throughout the Greenlandic and Russian waters. These creatures can live up to 50 years, with their main cause of death being suffocation, due to being trapped by sea ice. Like their other whale counterparts, they're quite large, ranging from 13 to 18 feet, excluding their tusk. A golden tortoise beetle. This ladybug-sized beetle looks like it must be in the royal family. It features a golden shell with black spots that's shiny enough you can even see reflections from it. Also called the gold bug, this beetle can be found in the Americas and does change color throughout its lifetime. A coatimundi. Coatimundis, also known as hog-nosed coons, are similar to raccoons and are native to the Americas. You won't want to knock their pig-like snouts. First off, they're extremely flexible, with the ability to rotate up to 60 degrees in any direction. Plus, they use them to push objects and rub parts of their body. Active day and night, coatis are strong climbers and are known for being quite smart. A lilac-breasted roller. This truly stunning bird can be found in the sub-Saharan Africa, as well as the southern Arabian Peninsula. At about 15 inches, including its tail, this rather small bird is an impressive hunter, preying on everything from snails to scorpions to lizards to snakes. They are also quite aggressive birds that will carry their prey to a perch where they will beat them until becoming dismembered. The Glaucus antilochus. The Glaucus atlanticus, more commonly known as the blue angel, dragon slug, or blue sea slug, or several other similar nicknames, is a shellless gastropod mollusk. They float upside down and are carried along by the winds and the ocean currents. Where do we sign up for that mode of transportation? This sea slug is quite small, at about an inch in length, and is recognizable because of the dark blue stripes on its head.